Welcome back. Let's talk about steps 4 and 5. Set a clear target and select the right problem. We're going to get into setting a clear target in more detail in Module 6. But our goal here is to limit the scope of the effort to increase the likelihood of success, right? So I want to make sure I set that particular target for the scope that I'm in. So that prioritized list of problems to solve that are on our way to achieving the ultimate goal that we talked about in the theme area, that's what we're really looking for. And there's places to put it. We want an aggressive target statement in the problem statement itself, or supplementing the problem statement. And then on the baseline data set that we'll talk about in Module 6, you'll see that there's a place to put your goals for each one of the measures. And when we select the right problem, the idea there is just to get us started moving. So we're going to learn how to write a better problem statement. We might use value stream maps and we might use systems thinking, but we got to have one problem to solve once we get this launched. That problem statement goes right there in the box. There's even an example on the worksheet for you. But some problem statements fail to state the right problem. Here's a couple of examples. Problems are often too big, too vague, too complex, outside the team's control. They might be using bad calculations. They might be rushing to a solution with the next problem, or they might be describing a problem as something that isn't actually happening. So how do we write better problem statements? Okay, so we've created these wonderful systems that hide problems over the years, and people are infinitely creative about hiding problems. We also make assumptions about the problems we think we have. So that's why we focus on saying what you see. But a good problem statement comes in one of these 4 forms. The first is a statement of what the group wants to accomplish. So here's an example. We want all 4 teams to collaborate on the final solution and build a communication system that lets everyone know the status in real time. A little bit of a mouthful, but and a little bit vague. A direct statement effect is usually my favorite. Teams develop solutions without considering the needs of the enterprise. So the teams did something without considering the needs of the enterprise. There's that negative word, is without. See, I'm telling you. The third type is to set an aggressive goal. Within 90 minutes, develop an effective communication transportation system that works for everyone. And then the fourth is a question that needs to be answered. How do we develop an effective communication system and transportation system that works for everyone? So as long as your problem statement is in one of those forms, you should be okay. But if you really want to do well, the best are the direct statement of effect and aggressive goal. That's what we have here. In this case, the example is the process required 514,692 pounds of rework against a target of only 483,340 pounds of rework. So this is obviously a process that is not very capable and produces just lots and lots and lots and tons and tons and tons of product that has to be reworked. There are real organizations that do that every single day, day in and day out. That's a year's worth of stuff. So let's set an aggressive target. So we're going to decrease the rework by 32,000 pounds over the next 6 months. So I'm cranking out 500,000 pounds of rework last year. My goal is to reduce that by 32,000. Doesn't seem like we're going to make a dent, but remember, start small, take a bite, then take another bite, take another bite. You also want to present that in some kind of graphical form that helps you see what the true impact is. So you can see there's the actual and the goal, and then down below what I've got is the cost impact. And this is something that you're going to have to do for your problem as well. On one of them that you select, I want you to calculate the cost impact that problem is having, either on your organization, in your community, or in your family. That how bad it is, that's what we're looking for. I want to know what this problem is costing you, so that when we fix it, I want to know how much we've saved you so you can reinvest that or become, Robin Hood millionaires, something like that. All right, so we set a clear target, selected the right problem with the types of problem statements. The direct statement of effect is preferred with a goal to go along with it. We want to understand the impact of the problem that we selected, so we want to know how much it's costing. And so we take it from that theme level, that broad area, through the value stream, through the one particular process step, through one particular area in the problem. So we've really broken it down to a nice, tasty morsel. Let's see how we work through that. Now, in reality, what you're going to experience is you're going to list all these problems, and we're going to start talking about them. And the more you start talking and the more you start thinking about these problems and changing the way you think about these problems, the more the problems are going to change. So by the time we get a few more weeks into the semester, you're liable to throw out everything you've done and find a new problem. I've had more than, I have had at least a couple of groups, students in every class. In corporate clients, I've had one group out of 4 maybe will consistently work up to a point and then say, we got the wrong problem, or that problem somehow got solved while we were working on something else, and they have to start again. So I don't want you to be discouraged by the fact if you have to stop, throw out what you got, and start again. It's important. It's a part of the natural process. In my experience, it's part of the natural process. Up next, we're going to talk about root causes. I'm only going to give you a kind of a surface overview. As a matter of fact, I think I'll just keep on going with this video for that rather than make a separate one, unless I got to go to a different file. Yeah, I've got to go to a different file, so let me change files and I'll be back.